I drew love, I drew a fish, you know what I mean? Peaceful things so kids can look at it. You know, when we come together and do things like this, it brings back to this town, because at this moment we're not really doing so good, but you know, we could do better.
What is it that makes a place our town? In New Brunswick, art on the street and on stage at the George Street Playhouse asks this question.
The name of our town is Grover's Corners, New Hampshire, just over the line from Massachusetts. Latitude 42 degrees 40 minutes, longitude 70 degrees 37 minutes.
It's a play in 3 acts. The first act is called Daily Life. The second act is called Love and Marriage. And the third act is Death and Dying. The message is simple, really. It's that we don't realize life while we live it every minute. I mean, that's one of the lines in the play.
The stage manager or narrator is played by 4-time Tony Award winner Boyd Gaines in the George Street Playhouse production.
Now we'll get back to Grover's Corners. It's evening.
Our Town first opened in 1938 at the McCarter Theatre in Princeton before moving to Broadway. Playwright Thornton Wilder was friends with writers like Hemingway and Gertrude Stein, and Our Town shares their spare, modernist style. The play has the barest of sets and is acted without props.
It's not a naturalistic 4 walls kitchen sink drama. The way it's told, the style is theatrical, and the subject matter, because he's taking little bits from our daily lives and literally expanding on them to a more sense of the mystical, the universe, our past, our future, our ancestors, our descendants. And so it's very poetic.
Why are you in bed?
I don't know. I just can't sleep yet, Papa. The moonlight's so wonderful.
The poetic style of Our Town lends itself to telling other stories as well. Jim Jack, director of education at the George Street Playhouse, pulled together stories from all over New Brunswick for a play called Our Town Now, starring people from the community.
So, lights up on an empty stage, there's a wooden table, a piano, images of New Brunswick are projected onto a screen, buildings. We thought this was such a ripe opportunity for George Street to explore this collectively, and so we started asking questions to people that what would it be, how can we celebrate the people who live and work in New Brunswick through the arts?
The name of our play is Our Town Now, and it takes place here in New Brunswick and owes its inspiration to another play that premiered in this state 75 years ago. I'm talking, of course, of Thornton Wilder's Our Town.
That play takes place in a small town called Grover's Corners, up in New Hampshire in the early years of the 20th century, with a population of just over 2,000 people. Even in those days, New Brunswick was 10 times as big as Grover's Corners.
We interviewed over 50 people.
There's going to be evocations of some of the past, and then some questions about where are we now?
Today is May 16th, 2014. It's early morning. The sun is just breaking over the Raritan from the east.
One person told me, you want to know where people lived, you look at the churches, you know. The Italians lived over there at that church, these people lived over here, and everyone was defined by their churches. But what we've heard is that those neighborhoods have changed, and there isn't that same connection to neighborhood as there once was.
The First Reformed Church is down on Bayard, Christ Church is there, and St. Peter's is way over there.
The city is never finished, it's constantly evolving and changing.
It's the new high school. Beautiful, state-of-the-art building.
New Brunswick is called Hub City because the river, highways, trains, and all kinds of people cross paths here. Hub City, Our Town, a celebration of the arts and community in New Brunswick, took the classic American play citywide. The American Repertory Ballet performed Our Town, the dance. There was a photo contest. Topic, New Brunswick, Our Town. And on a very windy day in April, the New Brunswick Community Arts Council staged Paint Our Town.
Arts is like a universal, ageless thing. So when you show paint to people, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, I'll take a paintbrush, I'll express myself.
It's what New Brunswick means to you. What inspires you? What are your favorite places in New Brunswick? What do you think of when you think of New Brunswick? And put that on the vinyl.
It shows people like, you know, listen, this is how we feel about this town, you know, we want you to feel what we feel, we want you to understand where we're coming from.
The casting for Our Town brought collaboration with the community full circle. Theatrical veterans were joined by students and alumni of the acting program at the Mason Gross School of the Arts, just up the block from the George Street Playhouse. And the production was directed by David Esbjornson, head of the theater department at Mason Gross.
This is the first time that Mason Gross and George Street Playhouse are collaborating, which is fantastic.
What'll you have?
I'll have a strawberry frosting.
Emily, have an ice cream soda with me. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan.
We decided we wanted to start off this collaboration with an American classic. And when we started looking at the different American classics, the minute David Esbjornson, the director, and I saw Our Town, we thought that's it, because the play is such a celebration of life, but also of a community. And since this was the first time we were working with the whole community, including Rutgers University and Mason Gross, we thought, how perfect.
Doesn't she make a lovely bride?
When we can speak to each other and share the different stories from different communities together, we stop becoming so isolated. And I think that's the big challenge of our time, is how do we stay connected, you know? It asks us what type of community we want to be. And I think New Brunswick and every city is always at a crossroads of that question.